back to my DIY channel. Today I have 3 Christmas decor DIYs which I'm really excited about. 2 of them are quite big projects, but they were so much fun to do. So leave a comment down below and let me know which one of these DIYs is your favorite, and let's go ahead and get started. The first DIY that I have to share with you is this adorable bauble wreath. I saw so many of these on Pinterest and I really wanted to try one out. So I was able to recycle some of my old baubles from last Christmas that I wasn't planning on putting on the Christmas tree this year. And then I also picked up some packets that were really cheap at the reject shop to be able to complete the DIY. I used an old metal coat hanger and they're really easy to bend. So just using my hands, I was able to reshape it into kind of like a circle. And then I used some pliers to untwist the top of it as well so that I could separate the wire, and then I could start threading on the baubles. So I'm only threading on the larger baubles. These ones are from my last year's collection. I have rose gold ones and silver ones. There's matte, shiny, and glitter. I think there was 18 in total, and I just went ahead and thread them all onto the wire, and then I just kind of went back in and reshaped them and spread them out to how I wanted them to sit. Once I had all the baubles in place, I took my hot glue gun and put a little bit of glue between the baubles to stick them together. This helped them stay in place, but also made the entire structure a little bit more sturdy. And then once I'd done all the baubles, I found that this was the best time to actually grab my pliers and retwist back the top of the wire. Then taking my hot glue gun and all of the baubles that I got from the reject shop, these ones are a lot smaller, I think it was like $2 for a packet of 12, and I just used my glue gun to glue them all to the bigger ones. I made sure that I kept the top of the bauble, the part where the string goes through, it's kind of facing down so that each bauble would kind of hide the tops of them, and then this way I could also hide the wire and hide the tops of the other baubles as well. So I used a selection of green ones that had some glitter ones, and then matte and shiny red and silver. I really liked this combination, and yeah, I just went ahead and placed all of the baubles around the top of the wreath, covering in the wire and all of the tops of the baubles. Then to finish off the wreath, I found this little decorative piece at my $2 shop, and it's got some leaves and pine cones, and I just think it's really cute. So I went ahead and hot glue gunned that to the very center of the top of the wreath, and I glue gunned down some of the leaves as well just to hold everything in place. And then using my pliers, I just twisted the top of the coat hanger to hide it down behind the back of the wreath, and I twisted it to be able to create kind of a loop so that it would hook onto a hook or a nail or anything on the wall. And that is the finished wreath. I think it looks so cute and I love it, and it was such a fun DIY to do. It's a little more difficult than some DIYs, but it was so worth it, especially if you enjoy making things and if you want to recycle any of your old baubles from last Christmas. The next DIY that I have is so much easier, and it's another mason jar candle holder DIY. I love this idea. It's kind of like a snowy, Christmassy candle holder. It's very wintry, and this is something I feel like I would have all the time. I wouldn't just have it for Christmas. So taking a mason jar and some white paint, I just very messily sort of used brush strokes back towards the top of the mason jar to cover the bottom half-ish of the mason jar. This was just so that it would make the jar more opaque, and I did about 5 coats of the paint as well. Once the paint had dried, I went in with some craft glue and my paintbrush and painted sort of the bottom half of the mason jar, and then sprinkled on some flaky sea salt to kind of give that snow-like effect. I think this is such a beautiful and such an easy DIY, and it looks so cool that you could kind of keep it as a decor item all year round, but it's super wintry and festive and I love it. Also, I forgot to mention before, use fake candles when you are using these kind of DIYs, because you just want to make sure that you're entirely safe. I've used real candles purely for the purpose of filming because I don't have any fake candles, but if I wanted to actually have this sort of going all the time, I would make sure that I have a fake candle inside. The last DIY that I have is another bauble one, and this one took a very long time to make. So if you like DIYs and you've got some time, then this one would be great, but it's so cool, but it just took a very, very long time. So I used this foam cone that I got from Spotlight, and then all of these red and silver baubles that I got from the reject shop, and you just have to go ahead and cut all of the strings off them. Then taking my hot glue gun, I'm going to glue the baubles down and around the cone. I'm placing all of the tops of the baubles, the part where the string is threaded through, closest to the cone. That way it will be hidden by the other baubles and then the extra string bauble that we use at the end. So I just went ahead and glued the balls the whole way around. I was alternating between the red and the silver and kind of creating a pattern out of the 6 different kinds. Then when it came to the next layer, the baubles didn't quite fit the entire way around like they did on the first one, so you kind of have to keep just a little bit of a gap and know that when you go to glue on the final part, you'll be able to cover all of the gaps and you'll be able to hide all of the tops of the baubles as well. So I just kept going the whole way, all the way up the cone. This actually did take a very long time, like I mentioned before, but it was a nice DIY to do, and if you've got some time and you like getting creative, then this would be really fun. So to finish off the bauble cone, I took this beaded string decoration that you can kind of get and put on your Christmas tree. I don't know what they're called, but it's just like shiny beads all strung together. And I used this to fill in between all of the baubles and fill in the gaps. And then I also overlaid it even over the balls that was like sitting together. I just thought it kind of finished off the cone and made it look a lot nicer. This took a very, very long time. It was very fiddly. I used some tweezers at some point to help me be able to put them down, but I just used my hot glue gun, filled in all the gaps, and the best part about the beads is that you can cut them and blend little bits and pieces. So sometimes I would stick down an individual ball just to fill in a gap, or maybe 2 or 3, and then other times I would run the string down between maybe for quite a while before I cut it off. So you can just kind of cut and place and put all the beads together, and it looks really cute, and it then just gets rid of all that like ugly bits of cone that are showing, or the tops of the baubles that you wanted to hide, and it just finishes it off and makes it look so nice. So those are my 3 DIY Christmas decor ideas. I really hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe if you're new. Over here you can check out my last DIY video, and don't forget to leave a comment down below and tell me your favorite DIY from this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!